Good morning and welcome back to the channel. Thanks for everybody for joining me this morning. It's a beautiful September morning out here on the trails. I got up early and decided to come out here and test a knife out. I've been wanting to test the tracker knife out for quite some time, and my good buddy over at 411 Outdoors, Daniel, has been kind enough to loan me one of his to see how it performs out here in the field. I encourage you to check out Daniel's channel, 411 Outdoors. I'll leave a link in the description. He does a lot of great knife reviews, a lot of great tracker knife reviews, amongst other things as well. Hatchet, axe throwing, knife throwing, and it's just a fun channel. You should check it out. But this morning, that's what we're going to do. We're going to check out this TZ tracker knife. On first impressions, the sheath is pretty nice. It's a leather sheath, has a couple of different carrying options, hip carry, scout carry, and it also has a neat little compartment here that you could slide a diamond sharpening stone or a survival fishing kit or something like that in there. So first impressions of the sheath are pretty good. What we're looking at today is a tracker knife. Now, this is a smaller version of probably the original Tom Brown tracker knife, but I think the minis and the regular sizes have kind of become popular. The materials on this particular tracker knife is D2 steel and micarta handles or scales. And so about a 4.5 inch blade with a couple of different grinds here. You can see here in the swoop, it's got a different grinding right here in the meat of it. It also has a saw blade, and it also has what feels to be a 90-degree spine there. Also a little cutout for batoning. So yeah, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to check out a tracker knife and see if it's something that I would use on the trail. So stick around and let's see how it performs. I feel like this part right here is probably the best for chopping. Also, the handle design, probably be good to have a little short lanyard on here for pinky hold, but just to get more of this out of it. So let's see what. Pretty easy work of that. So yeah, not bad with chopping. I would imagine a heavier, longer tracker knife would do even better. So let's take a look at batoning. I'm not going to do any heavy duty batoning with somebody else's tools, but just to get a general idea, I think either the hitting on the saw blade or this little area right here is perfect for that. So yeah, pretty decent batoning. Thicker in this part of the blade than this, so I would stick to closer back here for batoning. All right, so I've always kind of heard that the saws on these tracker knives are, they're fine for making notches and that sort of thing, but you always want to have a nice folding saw in your kit. But let's check it out and see if we can possibly make some notches out of this. Now, I have read some reviews on some other tracker knives and their saw's capability, but I couldn't actually find too much information on this saw. It's working, not great, but if you were just making, like I said, a few notches or, build traps or something like that, it probably would be fine. So I like this little area right here for some of these tasks because it's, so you can see there that saw really didn't dig in quite that much. But in a survival situation, it will probably work fine, so. All right, we've done a little chopping. We've done some batoning. So let's see how the tracker does at making feathers. Feather sticks, if you're not familiar, are a great way to get a fire started, especially if you don't have a lot of dry timber or starting material. I usually carry some fat wood in my fire making kit, but I kind of like the way this is feather sticking. Now, I played around with it a little bit before coming out here. These two little grooves right here, actually, if you can catch it right, they actually really make some really nice curls. If you can catch that corner, same on this side, you just have to catch it right. But overall, the knife does real well at making curls. I mean, something like this just takes practice, and you can do it with just about any grind. The Scandi grind, have you seen in many videos before on my channel, seems to be the most ideal, but convex grinds, saber grinds, I've even taken some of my pocket knives here recently and made some pretty decent curls with flat grinds. So yeah, I would say that not a bad performance of making feather sticks there. So yeah, not bad. So there are a couple of sharp places on the spine of this knife that should be able to throw sparks. This little groove right here has a pretty sharp spine, and the teeth in this area. So let's try a couple different options here. All right, so we have tested out this tracker knife on some Woodcraft and Tasks, and it seems to have performed pretty well. So let's see how it does with a little bit of food prep. Now this looks like this area right here with the swoop would be probably the most ideal because it is a little thinner towards the tip. So let's see how it does here. Well, I can feel it splitting the food quite a bit. Yeah, so not the best knife in a food prep situation, but I feel like any sharp edge will cut some food for you. It does what a Scandi knife does a lot of time, is it pushes the food out. So obviously you wouldn't see this in a kitchen somewhere, but like I said, anything with a sharp knife and you're hungry and need to slice up food or cut open a bag of food or something like that, it's going to perform fine. Not going to make any thin slices, but that's okay. Okay, my final thoughts on the tracker knife. So I'll just be honest, for me, it's probably not the type of blade I would carry on a regular basis. I see this blade as more of a survival blade, something that I would keep maybe in a bug out or get home bag, possibly in my glove box in a situation where I needed a blade like this. It's just, for me, it's just a little heavy, even with the smaller size, and this isn't the, this is a lot smaller than, say, the Tops Tom Brown tracker. There are some neat functions on it, but like for this tracker in particular, the saw blade isn't, something that I would probably get too much use out of, because I carry a saw in my kit at all times. I do like this area right here for carving and making feather sticks, so that's a definite pro right there. But I might be just because I've become so accustomed to Scandi knives, and you know, not these dual grinds and stuff like that. So yeah, overall it's a good knife. It's just not probably the kind of knife that I would carry on a regular basis. I do see the intrigue of the knife for a lot of people, and I don't throw shame on them wanting to carry a knife like this every day. But for me, it's just a little big, and I've just gotten away from big knives like that. So, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video and the testing of this tracker knife. And just a reminder to check out Daniel's channel over there at 411 Outdoors if you are interested in tracker knives. I know he's reviewed quite a few. So anyway, have a great day and peace out.